What's up, guys? Derek here with Tap and Turn Gaming, coming at you today with another episode of Battling with a Budget. This is a series where we take user or subscriber requested ideas for generals and we build a deck around them with a given budget. So this deck was a suggestion for Saffi Eriksdotter, as you can see on the title, right up here, for less than $50. And this was a suggestion given to us by one of our very loyal subscribers, Nightcore Jack. He's always on our videos commenting and has done a few battling with the budgets and just deck requests. So we're going to take a look at what we came up with. This is a battling with a budget for less than $50. We'll take a look at the deck. Using TCG Player Mid, this deck comes in at $49.13, so it is well within the constraints of where we need to be. Being under $50. So we'll take a look at the general first. Saffi is a 2-cost 2/2 human scout, and she has the ability to sacrifice Saffi Eriksdotter. When target creature is put into your graveyard from play this turn, return that card to play. So you basically get to have an auto-res spell. What's nice about her is that the ability does say when the creature goes to the graveyard and then return it to play. So it will trigger any effects for leaving the battlefield and entering the battlefield. And that's very, very cool. So one of the things we do at Battling with a Budget usually is we save some of our budget by going with a very light mana base. While we do have 40 lands, I mean light by low cost. So we'll take a look at what we got. We have Bant Panorama, Command Tower, Amaria the Sky Ruin, Evolving Wilds, 16 Forests, Naya Panorama, 16 Plains, Selesnya Guildgate, Selesnya Sanctuary, and Terramorphic Expanse. As you can see, for the land base, there's not really a lot to it. Not really much at all. So now we're going to take a look at our other our artifacts. First artifact we have here is Ashnod's Altar. Then we have Dramoka Monument for some mana ramp. Nim Deathmantle, it's basically a combo piece for us. Selesnya Cluestone, that's pretty fun. And Selesnya Kirun for some more ramp. And Selesnya Signet. So basically our artifacts are ramp, 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 ramp. Ashnod's Altar for ramp pseudo combo piece. And Nim Deathmantle, which is basically just a combo piece. And Ashnod's Altar and Nim Deathmantle work very well together, as we can sacrifice a creature for 2 mana, and then we can pay 4 mana to have that creature get res from the graveyard, triggering any enter the battlefield abilities or leave the battlefield abilities. But once we've sacrificed the creature for 2 mana, we only need to invest 2 more mana into this to res the creature. So it's pretty fun, has a lot of combo potential. For enchantments, we are running Frontier Siege. We will most likely be choosing the Khan's ability that says at the beginning of each of your up man phases, add green to your mana pool. But also the other ability is whenever a creature with flying enters a battlefield under your control, you may have it fight a target creature you don't control. And we are running things like Hornet's Queen, which is a fly with a death touch, so we can use it to pick off some guys, as well as Hornet's Nest, but we'll go over that after. So then we run Glare of Subdual to be able to tap our creatures to tap down theirs. Very, very powerful. Growing Ranks. At the beginning of our upkeep, we populate. So at the beginning of our upkeep, we pick one of our token creatures and get another token of that creature. That's pretty fun. Rite of Passage. This is an enchantment that I like. I've always really liked it. Whenever one of our creatures is dealt damage, we put a +1/+1 counter on it. So as long as the creature doesn't die, it gets a +1/+1 counter, and that's pretty awesome. And then we run Squirrel's Nest, which lets us tap a land to put a 1/1 green squirrel creature token into play. This is really nice paired with Glare of Subdual because it lets us tap the land that has a Squirrel's Nest on it to get the squirrel, to then in turn tap the squirrel to tap down their creature. So it's really nice, and you're going to keep getting the squirrels every turn, and it's pretty fun. For instance, our instants are a lot of removals. We have Crib Swap, Devouring Light, Selesnya Charm, Cetacean Tactics, Sprout Swarm, Unexpectedly Absent, and Unnatural Aggression. So as you can see, we have Unnatural Aggression, Cetacean Tactics, which has the fight mechanic as well, and then we're running. Lost my train of thought. The fight mechanic is really nice, and it gives us some nice removal, especially where the reason we're running the fight mechanic is because when we have one of our creatures fight one of theirs, if our creature would die, we just go ahead and sacrifice Saffi to get the creature back. And then if we have the Nim Deathmantle down, we just pay the 4 mana and get Saffi back. But we also have a couple creatures that can go ahead and resurrect as well, so we'll go over those as well. But for our sorceries, we are running Animus Awakening for the ramp, Cultivate for the ramp, End Hostilities, Epic Confrontation, another fight, Explosive Vegetation for the ramp, Fire Wanderings is ramp, Kirtar's Wrath, a sweeper that only costs 39 cents. So this is if you're looking to build a deck on a budget, Kirtar's Wrath makes a great sweeper. It is a 6 mana sweeper, destroys our creatures that can't be regenerated, so that's really good. But it's a 40-cent rare. That's a sweeper, so that's really not bad. Kodama's Reach for the ramp, Planar Outburst, another sweeper that's only 50 cents. Wrath of God is a $5-6 option. Why run Wrath of God when you can run Planar Outburst or Kirtar's Wrath and spend $1 for the two? Recollect, Savage Punch, another fight, Sky Shroud Claim, and Winds of Wrath. So this is another sweeper that also costs 91 cents, and it's also creatures can't be regenerated, so it's not bad at all. Now I'm going to take a look at our creatures, and you'll see that we do have a lot of Death Touch in here, and we have the Death Touch in there for the fight mechanic because it really works out well. So we have a Acidic Slime who has Death Touch, and when he comes into play, when he enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or land. So we can play him, sacrifice him to Ashnod's Altar, then sacrifice Saffi to get him back and use his ability twice. Or we can just put him into play, then we can go ahead and destroy one of their artifacts or enchantments or lands and use Savage Punch to make him fight something. If he would die, sacrifice Saffi, bring him back, and use his ability again, and we basically just 3-for-1 them for the most part. Then we have Ant Queen that lets us generate some tokens. Dauntless Escort that lets us sacrifice him to make all of our creatures indestructible. So we can sacrifice him, make all of our creatures indestructible, so we dodge a Wrath or something like that, and when he dies, sacrifice Saffi to get him back to be able to do it again. That's very nice. Emiria Angel, pretty cool. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a 1/1 white bird creature token on the battlefield. Just merely for the token production that she gets, excuse me, the more or less free token production that she does produce. And the fact that all the tokens that she produces are flyers, and that's huge for being able to block and that kind of thing. Then we have Emiria Shepherd, 7 cost, 4/4 fly with landfall. Her landfall is very nice. When a land comes into whenever a land comes into play, we can take back a permanent from our graveyard to our hand. But if the land was a plains, we can put it directly into play. So huge stuff, pretty awesome. Emiria Tandis, prevent all damage that will be dealt to creature tokens you control. So that's not bad at all. It does sort of turn off our Rite of Passage because they're not dealt damage. But being able to have them not be dealt damage is slightly better than having them get hit and possibly die, and if they don't, get the counter. So while these two may counteract each other, having one on the board is still nice if the other's not there. Hornet's Nest is very nice. It's a 3-cost 0/2 with Defender, and it says whenever Hornet's Nest is dealt damage, put that many 1/1 green insect creature tokens with flying and Death Touch on the battlefield. So the idea behind this is that we have this guy down, use one of our many fight mechanics to make him fight something huge, say like a 7/7/8/8. We're going to get that many 1/1 Death Touchers, while our guy won't kill theirs. We'll still get all the Death Touchers, and we can sacrifice Saffi if we want to get this back, but now we have all those Death Touchers. And one of the ideas we had for this was, if we have down Frontier Siege, and we call dragons, whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield, we can have it fight something. What we do is we take our Hornet's Nest, we have it fight one of their creatures, we get, let's say it was a 5/5. So we have our Hornet's Nest fight their 5/5. So our Hornet's Nest dies, their 5/5 doesn't, but we get 5 1/1 Death Touchers that have flying that can all now fight 5 of their creatures. So we're going to destroy 5 of their creatures using that. And then we're going to sacrifice Saffi and get back the Hornet's Nest anyways. So we have some tactics we can use with it. Then we have Hornet Queen. She's mostly in there for what I've been talking about. She comes in as a flyer with 4 1/1 flyers. If the Frontier Siege is down with dragons. We just pinged off 5 creatures, sacrifice Saffi, do it again. I mean, especially with her, she can do some phenomenal stuff. We cast Hornet Queen. If Frontier Siege is down, we just nailed 5 guys. She's going to die. They're all going to die. 5 of our opponent's creatures are going to die. We sacrifice Saffi to get back the Hornet Queen. When the Hornet Queen comes back in with the 4 new tokens, we can take out 5 more of our opponent's creatures. And it's just really value town. Endric Sawpowder, when he comes in, he destroys an artifact or enchantment. Jade Mage to be able to make saplings. Karametric God of the Harvest. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may search your library for a forest or plains card. Put that on the battlefield tap, then shuffle your library. This works out very well with Amaria Shepherd. As if we have them both down, we cast a creature, we search for a plains, we put it onto the battlefield, that kicks off Amaria Shepherd. We take a permanent back from our graveyard to the battlefield. Just pure value. Karmic Guide, flying, prop black, prop white. When she comes into the battlefield, we can return target creature from our graveyard to the battlefield. She's just in there with her interaction with Saffi. They actually can go infinite and generate infinite colorless mana. And the way that works is we sacrifice Karmic Guide to Ashnod's Altar to get the 2 mana. We then in turn sacrifice Saffi to res the Karmic Guide. When Karmic Guide comes in, she's going to res Saffi. So we got them both back and netted 2 mana. So we're going to continue doing that and net tons and tons of mana. Then we have Master Splicer. Master Splicer is a 4-cost 1/1. When Master Splicer enters the battlefield, put a 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature token on the battlefield. Mostly in there because it generates a 3/3 golem. Actually, technically a 4/4 golem because this gives all golems a +1/+1. Then we're running Maul Splicer. Maul Splicer is a 7-cost 1/1. When Maul Splicer enters the battlefield, put 2 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature tokens on the battlefield, and all of our golems have haste. Same idea, just to generate some big guys, and we're going to abuse their comes into play multiple times throughout the game and keep getting the tokens. Rampaging Baloths for the landfall to get the 4/4 beasts. Reclamation Sage because she breaks things when she comes in. Ruin Ghost to be able to flicker our lands and just abuse our landfall. You can pay with him. You can pay a white, tap him, and exile a land and put it back into play. Mostly enough for the land flickering, where we can benefit off Rampaging Baloths and Amaria Shepherd. And we have Selesnya Evangel to generate some tokens, Selesnya Guildmage to also generate some tokens, or if we need to, get that +1/+1 for all of our creatures. That could be a kill shot for someone. Then we have Sensor Splicer. When Sensor Splicer comes in, we get another 3/3 colorless golem, and this gives all of our golems vigilance. So if we have all 3 of them down, our golems get +1/+1 vigilance and trample. Not bad at all. Soul of the Harvest, so when we have non-token creatures come in, we can go ahead and draw a card. So if we're cycling our ability to get back Karmic Guide with Saffi, with Ashnod's Altar, and generate infinite colorless mana, that also generates infinite draw for us with Soul of the Harvest. Then we also have Tamir Sabertooth that we can use to pay 2 mana to bounce a creature to our hand, which makes Tamir Sabertooth indestructible. The combat tricks this guy can do is really awesome. You attack with him, and you attack with another creature. If you don't like how the blocks went down, you can go ahead and bounce that creature to save it, and make Tamir Sabertooth indestructible, or you can go ahead and just bounce a creature anyways to make Tamir Sabertooth unblockable, and use that, and now you can recast that creature to get its come into play abilities again. Really just some good stuff there. Terracodon, everybody knows what he does. I mean, he's 34 cents and he breaks 3 things and gives them some 3/3s. Who cares about the 3/3s? Trostani, Selesnya's Voice. He's in here mostly because he's a not for the populate, but whenever a creature comes in, we gain life equal to its toughness. So with the amount of creatures that we're going to have coming in and resurrecting and dying and coming back and going and coming back and all that, we're going to generate a lot of life, and that's really nice. Trostani Summoner, just because when it comes in, it gives us a bunch of different tokens. Uvenwald Tracker, because this guy has a repeatable fight for 2 mana. Very nice for us. Then we have Vital Splicer, another splicer that puts in a 3/3, and he gives us, for 1 mana, we can regenerate target golem we control. And then Vitu-Ghazi Guildmage, this is a 2-cost 2/3 that we can use to generate some guys or populate. So that's overall what the deck we went with. Hope you like it. Hopefully Nightcode Jack likes it. This has been Derek with Tap and Turn Gaming. Please like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. Send us more deck requests if you'd like to see what we can do with it, if you have a certain budget or anything like that. But again, this has been Derek with Tap and Turn Gaming. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll get back to you later. Thanks a lot, and goodbye.